Hello, my name is Ikaki. Welcome to my Learning e-portfolio of spoken language. I'm a Year 2 student of applied chemistry. I like to listen to music, play basketball, and chat with my friends. In this portfolio, I have recorded what I did, felt, and thought about my independent learning activities. Through this course, I hope that I can improve my English and become a long-life learner. Through doing the independent learning and real-life experience, I find the weaknesses of my speaking and listening of English. For speaking, because there is only a very little chance for me to use English, I find that I seldom apply speaking skills in real life, such as the phrases of showing agreement. Also, I feel lack of confidence to speak in English. My voice is too small and my vocabulary is poor. Not fluent and lack of sentence structure is also one of the weaknesses. For listening, my poor vocabulary leads to misunderstanding. But this is not a very big problem because I can ask people to rephrase their sentence and ask them to use simple words to ensure that I can get the idea easier. After I did the learning style test from internet, I know that I'm a sentient and visual learner. To make my learning more efficient, I will plan to do something which matches these styles. Sentient learners are focused on aspects of the physical environment. Because my learning style is sentient, I prefer learn facts and to do activities that have a connection with the real world. So I decided to have a discussion on some topics that is related to the real world. Besides sentient, I am also a visual learner. I like to use videos, maps, diagrams, and pictures to learn. For these reasons, I decided to watch a movie to improve my note-taking skills. There are several learning objectives in doing independent learning. The first objective is to improve my listening skills, especially for catching main points and note-taking skills. The second goal is to improve my speaking skills in the discussion. I will focus on discussion phrases such as phrases that giving opinions and managing the discussion, and I will try to use them in discussion. And now I will introduce some activities that are very effective for me. In Activity 5, I wanted to learn about the phrases of agreement and disagreement, because we need to use those phrases many times in our discussion. I found the worksheet from SAC Center, and I do the worksheet and use those phrases to make a sentence to show the agreement, partial agreement, and disagreement. I like these activities because I can work alone. Also, I can find the answer easily because it attached the answer. Although it is quite simple, it is useful for me. I learned some phrases of agreement, partial agreement, and disagreement, and I will try to do a discussion activities so that I can use something that I learned in these activities. My objective in Activity 6 is to use phrases that I have learned in Activity 5 by having a discussion with Raymond. I wanted to have a practice on those phrases that I have learned in Activity 5. So we discussed on two topics. The first one is smoking, and the second one is should people shout for their promotion period. And I tried to think some agreement and disagreement, and then present them to Raymond. Also, I listened to Raymond's view and jot down the notes. After that, we will have a discussion on those topics. I enjoyed to doing these activities with Raymond because it is more interesting than doing independent learning alone. We can use the phrases that we have learned in Activity 5. Also, I can listen to Raymond's view very well. That means he performed very well. Also, it can help me to improve my note-taking skills. I learned to use those phrases to show my will. Although we just focus on agreement or disagreement, we can learn other things, such as note-taking skills and listening skills. Also, we would like to improve the skills of managing the discussion. So we do activities 9 because it can help us to learn some phrases that can use for managing the discussion. In activities 9, I used the phrases that I learned in the lecture by having a discussion. The phrases is about managing the discussion. I want to have a practice on those phrases that I've learned from the lecture. I found the material from the notes which delivered by my tutor. I try to write down the phrases. When we start the discussion, I try to use these phrases. Also, I try to jot down what my friend said in the discussion to improve my note-taking skills. I enjoy doing these activities because it is more interesting than doing it by myself. We can use the phrases that we have learned from the lecture. Also, I can use the phrases that can show my agreement, which was practiced at activity 5 and 6. Also, note-taking skills can be improved by jotting down the keywords in short form. I learned to use the phrases to managing the discussion. Also, the phrases that show the opinions. Also, when I jot down the notes, I can give some opinions to my friends. For these 3 activities, I found that I can improve my discussion skill a lot. To improve my listening skills, I did activity 7. I watch a movie and do a worksheet from SAC and write a summary of the film. Because I'm a visual learner, so I try to learn through visual. I watched a film and jot down the notes. After watching the movie, I wrote a summary by using the notes. Also, I try to finish the SAC worksheet. For these activities, I can improve my note-taking skills. To conclude, if you wish to improve your English, you should choose activities which match your learning style. It is important because it will make your learning more efficient. Also, activities should focus on your weaknesses so that you can practice more on it and enhance your ability.